Friends, this is your August 7th stimulus update. I have a lot of good things to share with you in this one. We're going to talk, guys, about threats from the White House to issue an executive order that would basically take care of all of these issues. Is that going to happen? And can Trump do that? Secondly, we'll talk about what's going on with the deal on Capitol Hill. Are they getting any closer to reaching a deal? If you're interested in these issues, watch this video. Now, let's get into it. First question, is there going to be a deal? Well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask Mitch McConnell, he says, yes, he believes that there will be a deal, but in the near future. When is the near future, Mitch? Is it tomorrow? Is it next week? Is it in another month? We don't know. He also doesn't know. But when you ask Nancy Pelosi on the House side, she's actually a lot more confident. She said, yes, she believes that there will be a deal. And in fact, she could see the light at the end of the tunnel. But then she goes on to say this, we just don't know how long the tunnel is, but we have to move quickly, more quickly, because the light at that end of the tunnel may be the freight train of the virus coming at us if we do not act to contain it. That's pretty dramatic. That's quite a statement there. So now if you ask the White House, will there be a deal? They also say, yes, there will be a deal. But if there is no deal by today, in fact, the president will act. He will act aggressively by issuing an executive order. So that leads me into question 2. Is there going to be an executive order that will take care of all of this? Well, friends, if you remember from civics class or social studies, you know that Congress holds the purse. Congress holds the purse. And so Trump is threatening to issue an executive order. If the House and Senate cannot come together by today, he will issue an executive order that will touch on a few of the issues that is at play here. Number one, that executive order would include that eviction moratorium. Remember, I've talked about that, and you may have been hearing about that in the news as well, that millions of people are now at risk for receiving an eviction notice as early as August 24th because the moratorium ended at the end of July. The other issue that Trump promises to take care of in his executive order is the unemployment insurance boost, the $600 a week boost, which millions of people have also lost. That was cut off at the end of July. Then, of course, there's the payroll tax cut issue that the White House talked so much about. But again, this goes back to my earlier question. How in the world could he possibly do all of this since Congress holds the purse and they have to make the appropriations? And so that's one limitation that he's facing here. But just know, though, that there are some things that he can do. That would be the eviction moratorium, in which he can extend that so that more people would be able to stay in their homes longer. So now let's get into the third question. What is going on with the stimulus talks on Capitol Hill? Today, in fact, leaders on the Democratic side are meeting with the White House to hash out some of the details and see where they could come together. So here you have the Democrats speaking with the White House, and that's actually a really good thing and a positive sign. On the Senate side, there's still problems within the Republican Party because you have some members, Republican senators, who are adamantly opposed to another stimulus package. And so there's this infighting that's going on in the Republican Party on the Senate side that's holding things up for Mitch McConnell and his agenda. So that's going on the Senate side. And then White House, where's the White House on all of this? Again, they've threatened to do that executive order. And then Mark Meadows, the chief of staff at the White House, also says, well, both sides are continuing to talk, but they continue to be trillions of dollars apart. Trillions, right? Trillions, because the House Democrat introduced a $3 trillion package, the HEROES Act, and then the Senate Republicans introduced the $1 trillion package, the HEALS Act, which hasn't gone very far either. And so the White House is saying, well, they need to come together and agree on a number. All right. The other thing you guys should know is that although we had heard Nancy Pelosi say, well, the House is not going to go on recess this August because we've got to all stay in Washington and hammer out these details because millions of Americans are facing eviction and they've lost unemployment benefits and we've just got to stay here and fix everything. Well, guess what? Many of the House members are back home in their districts campaigning, right? They have to campaign because they have an election coming up in November. So they're out there in their district, but Pelosi has said, however, that they will be provided with a 24-hour notice by which to get back to Washington to vote on a stimulus package if there is a package. On the Senate side, Mitch McConnell says, well, the House members have actually skipped town, but we're here still working, still plugging away, when in fact many of the senators are also home in their district, and he has also said to them, you will have 24 hours by which to get back, but technically speaking, the Senate is not on a recess right now. They are still technically in session. Lastly, guys, what are the issues that they agree on as of today, right? As of today, August 7th. Well, they agree on the fact that they will reach a deal. They just don't know when. They also agree on the fact that there needs to be another stimulus check issued to individuals. They also agree that schools need more aid to help them safely reopen. But they are far apart on all of the other issues around the unemployment boost, whether to extend it or not. They're also far apart with respect to whether to give money or aid to state and local governments for those governments to continue operating without having to lay off a lot of their people. And so they are really far apart on those issues. And so, friends, let's keep watching and let's hold them accountable for better results, because it's truly shameful that they have not come to some sort of agreement by this point. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with other people, subscribe to this channel, get into the chat below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.